What the heck am I doing with the anchor chain? Is the windlass finally fixed? Where are we headed this time? And who do we have on board Intention with us? Stay tuned. Every question you didn't know you had will be answered on this episode of Sailing with Intention, where we share the details of our biggest week of sailing yet.
Just lets the reefing lines, the tail of the reefing lines through when it's fully deployed. Okay, here we are, just leaving the marina, and we're passing by Swartz Bay Ferry Terminal over there. We're on Intention today. We have our friend Aileen, and we've made a lovely lunch. We're gonna maybe anchor off Portland Island. Donna's skipper today, so I do whatever she decides that we will do. Right now we're just motoring. We're gonna get the sails up at some point, and we're gonna be able to try our new sail pack. Very exciting.
Portland Island is a small chunk of forest and rock between Vancouver Island and Salt Spring Island. It is part of the Gulf Islands National Park Reserve and is only accessible by private boat. There are 3 anchorages at Portland. They were all full, so we decided to anchor off Great Beach on the northeast side of the island. We've anchored before, but only on our instructor's boat. This was the first time we've ever anchored our own boat, and the first time that we've anchored on our own. I was nervous about anchoring, but it's a necessary step if we want to anchor in foreign lands. Everything actually went better than I expected. We're not experts, so this isn't supposed to be a lesson or a guide to anchoring. Instead, I just want to share with you some of the highlights of how we anchored.
Here's Island here behind me, and we're just under motor right now. Dawn has elected to stay under motor rather than to hoist the sails because we have quite a bit of other motorboat traffic around. So rather than mussing around with sails in a fairly narrow channel, we're just going to stay motoring until we get into some clear water.
First, we found an area that had the right depth. Intention draws about 6.5 feet of water, so we generally want to anchor in at least 10 feet of water. If we're going to be anchoring for longer than it takes to eat lunch, we also have to think about what the tides are going to do. We wouldn't want to wake up to find Intention lying on her side because we forgot that the ocean will be 7 feet shallower in 6 hours. The water off Great Beach is about 20 feet deep, which was perfect for our purposes. Next, Donna approached the anchorage and turned into the wind. She called out the depths, so I knew when it was time to drop the anchor. I got out the snubber, I untied the securing line on the anchor, I moved the anchor forward in the bow roller so it was ready to drop, and when Donna found the depth she wanted, I used the windlass to drop the anchor. She went into a slow reverse as I paid out the appropriate amount of anchor rode, and then I put the snubber on the line and she used more thrust to set the anchor. Let us know in the comments down below if you're interested in a more detailed video about how we anchor. Here's a comment about buying someone else's boat. You also get someone else's way of doing things. Most boats have their anchor chain painted at intervals and have a similar chart to this one so that you can tell how much anchor rode you're paying out. In our case, we have one red band painted maybe 10 feet from the anchor, then a blue band painted about 25 feet after that, and then nothing. Not a bit of paint anywhere. So I kinda had to guess at how much chain I was paying out. Yeah, we're gonna fix that. Check out our upcoming video, Gone with the Windlass Part 2, for more details.
So, here we are, sailing on, if you look up at the Windex at the top of the mast, we're on a beam reach. About 6 to 8 knots of wind right now, 10 knots, and we're doing 3 to 4 knots. We're getting a little bit of wind sheltering from Tender Island over there, but if you look at the ripples on the water out there forward of us, the wind will be picking up. So yeah, excellent practice.
All the people die. Hi, what you doing?
Just filming 7.5 knots.
It was a great day sailing with our friend Aileen, and it was even better to know that we could anchor safely.
And we're sailing, and they look beautiful.
We wanted to take our newfound confidence in anchoring to the next level, anchoring overnight. We chose to go to an anchorage that we'd already been to with our instructor, to anchor when winds were expected to be light overnight, and an anchorage that had good protection from most sides. Cadboro Bay met all these criteria, but the winds were so light that we just used the motor to travel the 18 or so nautical miles from Canoe Cove to Cadboro Bay.
There's the skipper. Hello, skipper.
Hello. So it's a very exciting day on board Intention today. I'm going to speak over the sound of the engine right now. We were thinking we'd be motoring the whole way. We're going to Cadboro Bay, and we're going to anchor there for the night. But we've actually got more wind than we expected, so we might be raising the sails. Here we are. We've just passed Island View Beach, and we're on our way back. Over my shoulder there you can see Picoles, which used to be called Mount Doug or Mount Douglas, and just over that way is Mount Newton by Victoria Airport. So we are on our way to Cadboro Bay, and it's a gorgeous day. We're kind of motor sailing right now because we get into the lee of these islands and the wind just dies off on us. So rather than sailing and starting the engine and sailing and starting the engine, we're just motor sailing at this point. But if we get into some nice open water, we'll pull the head sail out and just sail.
Our new sail pack performed brilliantly. Raising the mainsail now takes less than a minute until we are actually hoisting it. Stowing it when we're done takes more like 3 to 5 minutes to tuck in the flaked sail and reefing lines, but it's still faster than stowing the sail with the old sail cover. We'll get even better using it, and we have no doubt that the effort we spent sewing and installing it was well worth it.
Okay, here we are. We made it to Cadboro Bay. It's only 18.5 nautical miles, not exactly a difficult track, but it's a big achievement for us. It's the first time that we've gone to a destination by ourselves. We've gone out and back, but this time we have gone to a specific destination. And if you look, we are anchored here in Cadboro Bay. Anchoring is still new for us. It's I feel a lot of anxiety with it. Donna is very good about it. She doesn't have the same anxiety I do, but we're different people. I'm learning to be more understanding of my insecurities. Anyway, we're going to see, I've got an anchor alarm set. We're going to see how well we sleep, and hopefully everything will go well. I'm sure it will. I just, of course, have these fears.
The Royal Victoria Yacht Club is located in Cadboro Bay, so we were treated to ringside seats for their Tuesday night sailing dinghy races. It was so much fun watching these little boats sail so efficiently on almost no wind. Our battery bank and solar panels are amazing. We charged our new Torpedo battery overnight. We had the anchor light on, the last non-LED light on board Intention, by the way. We had the refrigerator running, and we had a variety of other electrical loads on the system overnight. When I woke up in the morning, we had only consumed 15% of our battery capacity, including making supper the night before. And then, within 2 hours at anchor, the batteries were fully charged again.
Okay, this is
We
one
feel
of those
like we
mornings
never have to worry
that,
about running out of electricity on board Intention.
makes you really, really want to do this. Okay, so just woke up after our first night at anchor, and it was very, very peaceful. Our anchor held beautifully, and we did have beautiful conditions for it. I think we probably had a maximum of about 10 knots of wind overnight. So really, the anchor should have been able to hold against that. The bottom here is classified as mud, which should be really good holding, especially with our kind of anchor. We have a Bruce anchor, and it's exceptionally good in mud. So really, it's not a surprise, but it does my heart good to know that we can anchor and then sleep and have a good night's sleep. I got at least 7 hours of sleep. I had a beautiful morning here on Intention, and we're gonna make breakfast and get about our day, and at some point we're going to head back to the marina to close out this adventure.
This is him, my boy, with his new torpedo. Yes, it is. In our new rib.
Where?
You want to show them?
Sure.
Yeah.
We are doing, I'm not sure that it'll show up, but we're doing 3.3 knots in calm conditions at under 300 watts of 1,000 watt possibility. Oh, that's my anchor alarm.
I downloaded
Okay,
a free anchor
cool.
alarm app that let me set the location of our anchor, then add the length of anchor road we deployed. It would then use the GPS on my phone to tell us if we were dragging our anchor. We weren't. When we left the boat in the dinghy, the alarm went off. We swung on anchor a fair amount overnight, as you can see from this screenshot.
There she is. In all her beauteousness. Beautiful solar panels. Beautiful dinghy David. And now, bright light, bright light, bright light.
Does need a good bath.
Yeah. I'm not pointing that out.
We'll
We'll get there. There are things. Things and stuff and things. And now we will go look for seals. Once we're
There was even less wind for our return trip, so we didn't even attempt to raise our sails. I know we're a sailboat, but even without sailing on the wind, we love being on board Intention.
Hello, camera. Hello, people. Good people of YouTube. I'm helming. We're heading home. We did an overnight anchor, which of course you know all this information because I think John already told you. But so yes, I'm not looking at the camera because I'm standing. Scan. Plus, I'm looking for. Plus, I'm looking for cool things in the water like seals and dolphins and maybe whales, but we haven't seen whales yet. Anyway, I am loving this. It makes all the boat work totally worthwhile. And yeah, I wish everyone could experience it, but I'll experience it on your behalf.
And just there, off to port, is our home marina, Canoe Cove. So we have to go up Pitch Pass here and then go around the corner and we'll be at our dock. And that will end our journey for this trip.
The only time we've sailed more days in a week was on our 5-day basic cruising standard course. Check out episode 2, by the way, for all the details on that. We accomplished so much this week. We're so excited to be sailing again, and we have so much faith and intention as a result of our sailing this week. We know that this overnight trip is really a very small step, but it's the first very small step of a much bigger and much more exciting journey. Thanks for watching. See you next time.